Scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
Alexei Shved, he's checked in for the Spurs. Looking at the last game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, it was a loss to New Orleans. Shaq with a screen on Matthews.
That's the risk you run by staying out there as he picks up his third.
That's his third personal foul.
The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. Garnett, the screen. Here's Sprewell. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. 5 to shoot. And Shaq with the slam.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
And San Antonio has possession after the basket by Minnesota. Matthews passes to Dudley. Misses from short range. Timberwolves trail by 10. And Bell kicks to Roberson. It's stolen by Duncan. Here's Billups. And that one goes long. They can shave the deficit to single digits right here. Bell with it. Matthews covering. Here's Garnett. And that one is stuffed right through.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
And he gets it to go. Dudley's got his second basket of the night.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
And stolen by Shved. He dishes it to Billups. Duncan at the elbow. All alone. And yes, a nice assist from Billups. And now it's a 12-point San Antonio lead. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against Los Angeles. Now Bell. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. O'Neal kicks to Garnett, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Wow, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
San Antonio calls timeout.
You know, obviously, there's some things out there he does not like and wants to talk it over.
Well, Greg, you've played, and you envision yourself as a coach as well. So, sometimes you need to make some adjustments.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Jones checked in for Dudley. Del Negro comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Chauncey Billups.
Playing smart offensively in the first half, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the numbers support it. I mean, they're shooting the much better percentage from the field so far.
The rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the quality of that three-point shot attempt right there, going at it the way they did, but it all worked out for them.
Here is Bayless following the three by Minnesota. The feed to Shved. The dish to Duncan. 6 on the shot clock. A nice finish inside by Tim Duncan.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
1:33 left here in the second. Udrih. Good D by Jones.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Got a piece of it and stolen by Udrih. And now Minnesota on the fast break. And yes, sir, that one drops. Temple's got 5.
They've slowed down casting those triples here in the second.
And Clark, I'd like to see them go back outside. They've been shooting well from the perimeter.
Now here's Shved. And the 3 off target.
Another shot from outside. They're not attacking. I mean, going in and seeking contact like they did in the first one, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, you can't play the score, Clark. You have to play your game. They need to mix it up a little bit here. Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Minnesota shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Free throw good, Udrih. Elliott's checked in for San Antonio. Minnesota also with the sub. Leonard, he's checked in for Kevin Garnett. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
San Antonio leading by 8. There's 39 seconds left to play in the first half. And it's blocked. And it's out of bounds to the Spurs as San Antonio retains possession. There's the pick. To the middle, Del Negro, and the layup's good off the glass. And the Spurs lead by 10.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. Pass to Ori, the 3-ball. The rebound by the Spurs. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling. Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And Udrih kicks to Leonard. 4 seconds left. With 1 on the clock, and that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to end the quarter. And we finished one half of basketball. Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters.
Been a stellar outing in this one for O'Neal. 16 points, and he hasn't forgotten to get his teammates involved either.
And he's conscious, I think, Clark, of good ball movement. It needs to be a part of their game plan throughout.
So on the floor for Minnesota, Udrih out there with Bell. Then it's O'Neal. Then it's Garnett. And it's Sprewell in at the 3 spot. Here's Elliott. The basket good off the assist from Billups. Elliott's got 8 points.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it. You can see it. In part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
Minnesota calls timeout.
Yeah, can't be pleased with all these easy looks they continue to give up there in the paint.
No, I'm sure he's not, Greg. I mean, their defense is showing a lot of holes, especially down low. That's unacceptable.
Timberwolves trail by 16. Here's Sprewell. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Now Udrih. Garnett, right side. Clock at 6. And the pass to Sprewell. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here's Billups. He's got 10. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Billups has got 12.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead. Talk about a terrific game for Robinson. 10 points and a steal. He's been putting it up, and it's been going down 100% from the floor.
And, Clark, I just love the supreme focus with which he's playing.
Robinson hits them both. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Shaq against Robinson. Back to Shaq. Matthews with the steal. 5-on-3 break. Pass to Duncan.
Timberwolves foul. Latrell Sprewell. That's his second personal foul.
And San Antonio has possession. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half.
This offense's first miss after 3 straight makes to start the second half.
Here's Sprewell. Here's Bell. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Duncan with a screen for Matthews. Off the screen, and Duncan throws it down. Duncan, as usual, hitting more than he misses. He's better than 50% from the floor in his NBA career. Here's Udrih, who's guarded by Billups, and stolen by Billups. He kicks to Matthews. The Spurs rebound. Timberwolves trail by 20. Here's Bell. Matthews with the rebound.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Billups dishes to Robinson. Matthews, no one around him, and it's Matthews again missing. Udrih, the pass to O'Neal. Howard down after the assist, let him into the lane.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear the Spurs coach going over their game plan during that last break. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Tim Duncan. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. He also told them that he wants to see multiple passes on every possession. He said that was the key to getting the best shot each time down. Probably a good time to make some changes with a good chunk of the second half still to go, Kevin.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Here's Sprewell. Robinson with the block. Now here's Billups. 12 points for him. And that one's good. Shved. Here's Sprewell. Bell with it. Shaq with the screen. And Bell kicks to Shaq. Passes it to Sprewell. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Matthews.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
And the dunk by O'Neal.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne. And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it. Through him, it's really smooth.
Now here's Garnett. He's got 10. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
What a game for Garnett. 10 points and 2 rejections.
You know what? He's getting to the line. He's passing. He's really just converting in both those areas. He has been money.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really old school basketball, and you know how that is. Certain parts of the game never go out of style. They're always relevant, and he's excelled in those areas today.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Jared Dudley's checked in for Matthews. Del Negro comes in for Alexi Shved. And Jared Bayless subbed in for Chauncey Billups.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
And it's slammed in by Garnett.
And the defense out of position on that possession, which allowed for him to get that offensive board.
Well said. Yes, he did. You're right, Greg. That's a tremendous jam on the putback.
What a great nose for the basketball he has, and such a strong finisher as well.
And he recovers it. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Here's Temple after the basket by San Antonio. The rebound by the Spurs. Robinson's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And the Spurs with some changes. Jones checked in for Duncan, and Elliott subbed in for Jared Dudley. That one is no good. Timberwolves trail by 19, and now the Timberwolves on the break. Temple gets the bucket.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Here is Bayless. He has 7. Terrific design on the big play. And he lays